that, I want to invite everyone to give a round of applause in welcoming CK Chen, the President of ARM Taiwan, to come up to the stage. Let us welcome CK. 掌声欢迎。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ARM CEO event at Computex 2024. Computex has been always the cornerstone of Taiwan's ICT industry. For myself, I still remember around 20 years ago, around 20 years ago, attending Computex as a college student. I enjoyed visiting various groups to get a sense of the latest technologies like motherboards, CPUs, memories, and monitors. Back then, Computex was positioned as a trade show around personal computers. But nowadays, Computex has evolved itself into an expo around computing and AI. Now known as Computing Expo is developed into Expo. Today, computing permeates every aspect of our lives, transforming the way how we work, live, and live. At the heart of the transformation, our technology and computing platforms are spearheading the journey of AI revolution. Here at Computex, later, our CEO Rene Haas will guide us the journey to the next generation of AI revolution. And this journey is a collaborative effort relying on a robust ecosystem of commerce, from semiconductor components to software developers. And every OEM here in Taiwan plays a crucial role in this revolution. And this is why ARM is committed to growing cooperation and working closely with industry leaders and developers, particularly here in Asia. Together, I believe we can accelerate AI innovation and bring about a new era of technological advancements. Finally, I would like to extend my gratitude to Acara, the organizer of Computex, for their unwavering support and for providing this invaluable platform. Now it's time to introduce my friend, Mr. James Wang, Chairman of Acara, to the stage. 谢谢大家。Thank you， 感谢。
Thank you, PK。接下来就让我们共同来欢迎中华民国对外贸易发展协会的董事长黄志芳 James 来到舞台上方。Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome James Wang, the Chairman of Taiwan External Trade Development Council, to give us his remarks. Let us welcome James.
Introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Rene Haas, CEO of ARM. Computex, as CK has indicated, in the past 4 decades, Computex has always been a platform for computing power. From PC to Internet semiconductor IP and compute platform provider, powering many devices globally. Their architecture and solutions are essential in daily technology. ARM continually pushes technological boundaries. Mr. Haas' strong ties with Taiwanese semiconductor industry highlights this dedication. His frequent Computex occurrences provide valuable insight. Today, we will discuss ARM's role in driving AI across global computing platforms, emphasizing swift time to market with efficient solutions for developers. Technological progress benefits the entire industry, and we look forward to Mr. Haas' insights, which promise to inspire and strengthen the AI community. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Rene Haas, CEO of ARM, to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Rene.接下来，我们将带领现场所有的嘉宾们进入到我们的主题演讲环节。我们将会一同和 ARM 的执行长 Rene Haas 一起来探讨人工智慧变革的时代 ，AI 是如何在我们的社会当中带出前所未见的机会，以及创造超越我们想象的影响力。So next, we're going to move on to today's keynote speech, and we will join ARM CEO Rene Haas to discuss how the AI continues to bring the unprecedented opportunities and to create impacts which beyond our imagination in the era of AI transformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, the future is here.
Many of the world's most innovative companies, including more than 18 million software developers. Together, we've shipped nearly 300 billion ARM-based chips. With our high-performance, power-efficient processors, the ARM platform enables advanced computing in the most complex AI supercomputers to low-power devices at the edge. As the AI revolution opens up more and more opportunities for society, unlocking potential we've never seen before, ARM is the AI compute platform for everyone. Changing lives for the better. How we work, how we play, how we connect with one another. Our homes, our families, our well-being, and how we travel together into the future. Whatever shape it takes, ARM will be at the heart, because the future of AI is built on ARM.
让我们共同掌声欢迎 ARM 执行长 Rene Haas 为我们带出今天的主题内容：加速从云到端的 AI 创新 ，Enabling AI from cloud to edge. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Rene Haas, the Chief Executive Officer of ARM. Let us welcome Rene.
你好，我是 Rene Haas. And that will be no other AI model than me. It is fantastic to be back in Taiwan for Computex. As Cynthia mentioned, Daya mentioned, ARM and myself, we've been here a while. For me personally, it's always special to come back to Taiwan. I think this is probably my 20th or so Computex, both presenting, attending. It's just been amazing. And congratulations to James for such a fantastic lineup this year. So I always know I'm back with the sights and smells and features that are unique to Taiwan. Of course, when you arrive into the airport and you drive downtown and you see this building, you know you're in Taipei. Now, you smell this, not necessarily taste it, you also know that you're in Taiwan. Full disclosure, I've smelled this many times, but I've never actually had the courage to taste it. My heart is pretty good. You know, one of the other most amazing things about Taiwan and Taipei City is, of course, the night markets. Whether it's Xinmin or the Victoria Market, the oldest night market in Taipei City, it is always an amazing experience to visit. Something that I've done in my past. But thinking about it this year, I've been warned that when other CEOs make this visit, it's not quite as intimate as it used to be in the past. So I was talking to our team, our security team, our IT team, and now that ARM is a public company, yes, we have a security team. I think that person is one person, by the way, so we're calling the team is a broad thing. And the team really said, you know, if you really want to do this today, you need to be really careful because this is not like it was a few years ago. ARM is public. You're now a public figure. People know who you are. You're really not going to be able to do this and not be mocked. And I said, no. I think we'll be okay. And we'll bring a lot of people. But if I'm really mocked by folks, you guys can keep them back. So last night, I tried to go out. And those two people behind me, that's actually our security crew. They actually fell asleep during the process. But all seriousness, it's fantastic to be back in Taiwan again at Computex. It is an honor and a thrill to be able to talk about ARM to you today in a very different way than I could last year. 12 months ago, when we were in Taiwan the last time, we were in what was called the quiet period, running up to our public offering, and there wasn't much that we would say or I could talk about, but this year is different, and I really want to explain to you where we've come as a company, but more importantly, why this age of AI is so critical for us and where ARM plays a role. Now, I want to start with a bit of a story. And for those who've seen me present in the past, you may have heard this story before. But I think it's important. If we go back in time and look at what was the very first mobile computer. Now, I dare say, I had one of these. This is the Apple Newton. I think he's probably over 30 years old by now. I think this was early 1990s that this product was introduced. And this product was amazing. You can see it had a very large display. It had a stylus for handwriting recognition. It also had a lot of data applications. It had something called dates. That was actually around scheduling. It had things around contacts, etc., etc. It was a device that was way ahead of its time. Now, as they say, you know, success has many fathers and failure is an orphan. Now, this product was a failure from a commercial success, but it was way, way ahead of its time in terms of what it enabled. And it was also really, I would say, the birth of ARM. ARM was chosen to be the processor inside this product. And for those who don't have all the history, this was a joint venture done with Apple and VLSA Technology. ARM got kicked off as a company, and they chose a 20 megahertz processor. Yes, 20 megahertz. So we're not in that range anywhere close today. But there are a couple things that were really important for this product. Number one, because of its size, it needed to be very, very cool permanently. Now back then, a lot of devices ran off ceramic packages. So the ARM architecture had to fit into something that was plastic. It also had to run off a battery. It also had to be low cost. But that's how ARM was born. And one of the cool stories about this product, true story, that when the very first ARM CPU was running off the bench and the power was actually off, the device was still running. And it was running off the leakage current that was coming off the rest of the circuit board. The point of the story is, we were born to be power efficient. It's in the DNA of the company. It's all we know. And it's really served us well over the last 30 years. Where we are now, ARM is the most pervasive compute platform in history. There's nothing close. Between our CPUs, our GPUs, our NPUs, the entire platform is all now basically ARM-based. And the world runs on ARM. If you go back to the very first Computex, in 1981 was the time. 1981 was also about the time that the IBM PC was introduced, which I think was the very first real volume driver for modern computing, even before the Juta. If we go back in time to 1981 and just look at the volume that has been driven across computing over these last 40 years, it's stunning. You see the legacy PC, you see ARM, and you see a number that's kind of hard to even fathom. ARM, with our partners, has shipped more CPUs, not only than legacy PC or open source, but I would dare say, if you combine every computer architecture ever invented, and you add them up, they're not in the same order of magnitude as ARM. I like this graph so much. Let me play it again. It's absolutely unbelievable. And this kind of growth drives a lot of innovation. It drives a lot of opportunity. It also creates a lot of questions, though. And this is one that's being talked about a lot in our industry, particularly when we think about AI and its enabled. And that's just, do we actually have enough energy to drive all this computing? Now, we have seen some amazing innovation around AI just recently, whether it's generative AI, around large language models, whether it's on small language models, training, inference, etc. We're in this interesting dilemma where the better the processors get, the more it begets computing, the more it needs more energy, the more it begets computing, etc., etc. And there are a lot of questions whether there is actually enough energy to drive all this demand. This is a projected U.S. data center energy demand at the end of the decade. And if you look at these numbers, roughly speaking, the expectation of the U.S. energy grid will be data centers by the end of the decade. Now that's both exciting and impossible at the same time. There is no way that this can continue without some level of change to take place. Now there is a reason that ARM has become so popular when it comes to these data center applications. And that's if you go back to our DNA. Again, we were born running off batteries. It's the world's most power-efficient CPU architecture. Every modern device, whether it's your automobile, whether it's your security camera, whether it's your cell phone, whether it's your PC, everything needs a CPU. That's table stakes. And increasingly what we're seeing in the data center is a very rapid movement to ARM. Graviton was the very first partner that we worked with, over 60% more energy efficient than the previous generation on another architecture. Microsoft announced a product Cobalt, 40% more efficient. These are both based upon the ARM Universe platform, which drives incredible energy efficiency across the data center. Keeps going. Google just announced their product, Axion, just earlier this year, 60% more energy efficient. And what that's going to drive is increasing ARM deployment in the data center. Because of this energy efficiency challenge, there's just no way that we are going to be able to keep things in balance without optimizing at every angle. And ARM plays a huge role there. And even the most advanced chips for training in the cloud, Grace Blackwell, 25% improvement over previous implementation with Hopper that use an external CPU. So those type of power efficiency savings are driving incredible innovation. But it's not really the power efficiency, which is amazing, that makes ARM who we are. What really makes ARM unique and special is a software ecosystem that's unlike anything the planet has ever seen. Go back in time to the new had its own OS, ported to ARM. It was very specialized back in the day. 30 years ago, there were lots of operating systems. 30 years ago, there were a lot of vertical solutions. The world became very horizontal. And as it became horizontal, ARM has become the de facto choice for every major operating system in the world. Windows, Android, Chrome, iOS, Linux, Linux for the auto, Linux for the data center. 18 million developers. More software developers develop on ARM than any federal processor ever. And that level of pervasiveness across the operating system drives an incredibly rich application ecosystem. Every major application runs on ARM. ChatGPT, WhatsApp, Line, Facebook, Oracle, SAP. We fill this chart 10 times over with every major application. It's the link between the application, the operating system, and the underlying hardware that enables the pervasiveness of ARM across every application. Now, this application area I find personally quite interesting. Go back to Computex in 2012. I remember that one quite vividly. I wasn't working for ARM at the time. I was working for another company, a green company. But I was very closely working with them at the time. And we announced a pretty cool product called the Surface RT. I don't know how many folks remember that product. Bob remembers that product. It was really neat in terms of all the software we run. But you had the hardware. The hardware was great. We had an Tegra 3 processor, very, very low power. It was also very, very efficient in terms of battery life. The hardware was great. So why didn't this product fly off the shelves? There were no Windows applications that were native to ARM, meaning that nothing was optimized, nothing was performant, nothing was efficient from a battery life standpoint. Yeah, there were apps that ran. You could run Office, it was a little bit not a full Office experience. We didn't run iTunes, for those who remember that back in the day. The hardware was great, but it was too early. What a difference 10 years or 12 years makes. Now, the number of native applications that run on ARM for Windows are pervasive, popular, extensive, whatever word that you want to use. All the developer tools are there. So essentially, there's really nothing that you can't AI PC, every application you care about runs on Windows on ARM. Now, Microsoft has brought out Slack, Spotify, even Chrome. So these AI PCs that are ARM-based going forward, they're going to run incredibly well. The battery life is going to be fantastic. But it's really, again, because of the hard work done between ARM, Microsoft, developers, and a huge ecosystem. And if you move forward and think about, well, how does that link together relative to how we think about hardware and software, it really is a testament to the ARM platform and why we are so extensive. So mobile, where we were born, every major operating system runs on ARM, the applications run on ARM. As a result, chip makers and hardware makers are able to deliver hardware that they know that this will work. And that's really, again, driven by this symbiotic relationship between the application layer and the platform. And that finds itself across all the verticals. Same thing on PCs. Whether you're running Zoom or Slack, Windows or Mac OS, the PC is Dell or Lenovo, Microsoft, Samsung, lots of announcements I know that will be taking place this week. They just work. And they just work because that platform has been optimized on ARM. There are lots of questions in terms of, well, why is ARM so popular across other applications like automotive? The formula is very similar. You have the application layer, there's Waze, Maps, QNX, Android, Linux. This is like companies like Mercedes, like GM, like Toyota, and work with silicon manufacturers and deliver a fantastic experience. And of course, it applies in the cloud. And this is why we have an incredible amount of momentum behind that volume chart that I showed you. However, the fun is really just getting started. Now, AI, on one level, has been around in everything in terms of device capability. If we think about the amount of time it's taken to get to 100 million users from an application standpoint, it's stunning if you look at what has taken place. It took Netflix 10 years. It took Twitter/X, 5 years. Instagram, 2.5 years. TikTok, 9 months. TikTok was probably the most fast we could possibly get. But ChatGPT, 2 months. And now, what you have with ChatGPT is suddenly a brand new cadre of applications and a brand new cadre of experiences. Through Hugging Face, or Gemini, or Anthropic, or Meta, or Microsoft, everything's changed. But what's important is that AI is not just training a large language model and waiting for someone to use it. AI needs to run everywhere for the population to take advantage of all of its capabilities. Like we've seen with every application, every piece of software over history, the software needs to run from the edge of the tiniest devices to the cloud. So AI needs to run absolutely everywhere. However, the problem if you're a software developer is that they just want it to work. Now, we'll go back to the chart that we talked about relative to 12 years ago with Surface RT and where we run to today. All of this innovation can take place with all of this AI capability, but if developers are not able to take the innovation they're doing with AI and have it run on the hardware in a performant, power optimized, highly executable and predictable state, there is no AI. Of course, you can answer that. and it's called Pleiade, ARM Pleiade AI. These are compute libraries that just make it easy for developers. And if there's anything you've learned at 30 plus years at ARM, as great as the hardware is, as great as the experiences when you bring out a new chip, if you don't have the software, if you don't have something developed to get access to, the hardware is not going to be much good. So in the AI world, developers will work on their models and frameworks such as TensorFlow, PyTorch, Meta 1.3, media pipes, and examples. What Pleiade does is, in between the high-level language that the models are being developed in, by taking access and use of these libraries, calling these libraries, they are now able to develop something in software, and by just calling these libraries, will just work. Because the libraries will then take advantage of what's inside the underlying hardware to make it perform. And we've done so much in our CPU architecture, whether it's neon or vector extensions or matrix extensions or acceleration of AI modeling. But if the developer doesn't know what's there, they're not going to be able to take access to it. And on the flip side, if the applications can't take advantage of it, then all the goodness you hear this week about all these great apps running, if there's nothing that makes it visible to hardware, it's just not going to work. Pleiade AI solves that. And where does it fit? Well, when you think about the top of the stack, as we talked about before in terms of the handset, the silicon vendor, the operating system, Pleiade just sits on top of that. And it makes it just easy for developers. Now, of course, I'm the CEO of ARM. I have a bias in this great thing. So, of course, I'm going to say one things about it. But it's probably easiest if I allow our customers and partners to talk about it. So, I first want to introduce me a video of Mr. Juta, EVP at Samsung, who is in charge of Samsung Mobile.
For decades, ARM has played a significant role in enhancing mobile experiences for billions of people worldwide. Consumers always demand more, gaming on the go, fast browsing and streaming, and to work and create with a flexibility. ARM's innovative, high-performing, low-power compute platform has driven the mobile industry's rapid evolution to smarter and richer experiences. With ARM, Samsung Galaxy has consistently set the bar of what is possible in mobile with groundbreaking power and efficiency. Whenever Galaxy set out to innovate, ARM provided a platform to meet these demands. As we enter the new era of mobile AI, Samsung is transforming people's lives with Galaxy AI, making them more seamless, productive, and creative. And ARM has been with us every step of the way. Now, the Galaxy Book for Edge extends this experience to our next-gen Windows ARM PCs. This is just the beginning. We believe ARM technology continuously advances, and Samsung can extend AI experience with more devices, not just smartphones and PCs, but with many more to come. Samsung is committed to continuing our technology innovation and unlocking new possibilities with Galaxy, together with ARM.
So, Galaxy AI, Gemini, the Galaxy platform using Pleiade is going to be able to really unlock the true potential of the application. Without it, there's no way for the developers to actually really have an experience that they want. Now, this applies everywhere. Pleiade AI is not just for mobile. Pleiade AI is a horizontal strategy. It will apply across PC, multiple markets, and it allows for the software stack to be highly optimized. And again, easier for me to say it, but we work very, very closely with partners across the ecosystem. Obviously, working with partners such as Samsung is very critical in terms of the deployment, but we also need to work with folks who actually develop models. So who better than Sai Chaudhary at Meta to talk about how Llama fits into this framework?
Meta and ARM have been working on optimizing the entire technology stack for large language models. This starts with Meta Llama 3, working on PyTorch, all the way through to ARM Heidi AI to take advantage of the latest CPU advancements. Beyond that, we're also collaborating very closely to make sure that the Meta Llama 3 family of models work efficiently in a very performant manner on a wide variety of devices. As ARM technology is being used increasingly not only on the edge but also in the data center, we're excited to see what comes next in the world of AI.
These are the, I can't turn out the stack lines up. It is a full top to bottom stack that applies not only across what we're doing with visi, then we're going to say it applies to auto and applies to cloud. Now, what's the benefit of all this? Is this just some architecture, or is there really, really benefit in terms of unlocking performance? Well, we're already seeing some incredible speed-ups. Computer vision, 75% faster than without using the AI libraries on OpenCV. Again, this is the same hardware that can add to these libraries, and now you unlock the performance. Generative AI, looking at Llama from Microsoft, almost 200% faster. And keep in mind, this is existing hardware using these libraries. Just imagine what happens as the flywheel starts to spin, and you get more developer innovation, understanding exactly how to make efficient use of libraries, and then ARM continues to add more and more underlying features across our platform. And then gaming, almost a 7x increase. Just incredible in terms of the innovation here. So when you think about AI, and you think about AI really being a benefit to everything that we do in our lives, it's going to have to find itself at every single endpoint. And it can only find itself at every endpoint if there's efficiency. And it can only find a way that efficiency if developers can get access to the hardware. So who better to talk about that than my friend Rick Oswald, who also could not be here today. Rick has a new job at Google. He's had a big job at Google. He was previously managing all of the Pixel hardware. He's now picked up everything around Android and Chrome, so he is SVP of platforms, which when you think about a platform strategy and ARM being a platform company, it's natural that we work incredibly close with Google. So let Rick tell a little bit about how we work together.
Thank you, Rene. Although I couldn't be there in person, I wanted to send my congratulations and highlight some of the important collaborations between Google and ARM. Google and ARM have a long history of working together to bring new experiences to users. And nowhere is that partnership more important than our collaboration on AI. AI has the power to transform the technology landscape, and ARM's power efficiency is critical to meeting the exponential growth needed in compute. We're excited to support ARM's Clyde AI to accelerate AI workloads on current and future ARM v9 CPUs via XMM. And we're bringing Gemini to ARM-based systems throughout the Android ecosystem. Our joint collaboration will enable Android developers to build AI-powered applications across all ARM-based devices with the integration of Clyde AI software and Google's latest LLMs. We're also partnering on Web GPU and Chrome Browser, where our joint work has resulted in dramatic browser performance improvements on current Android devices. We're excited to continue collaborating across these joint priorities. These efforts are critical to make the possibilities of AI a reality. Thank you, and I hope you all have a great Computex.
As Chris covered, we have a huge amount of innovation that we're doing on the product side. There is no way to make AI the experiences we want it to be and needs to be without the interlock between the compute platform and developers. And again, developers, more than anything else, do not want friction. Software developers are great people, they're smart folks, but they don't want to have problems with working around difficult hurdles to take advantage of hardware. And when we think of innovation that is capable with AI, yes, it's one thing to have a search that's much quicker or a call center that is to be able to replace what humans do today. But one of the things that really excites me most about what's going on with artificial intelligence is around healthcare. And you think about things like protein folding and what it takes to replicate a drug. I was talking with one of the executives from one of the big pharma companies in the UK last week, who told me with products such as AlphaFold that drug research that takes 10 years can be shaved down to 5 or 3, which is just incredible in terms of what they do. So we are all in AI. We're trying to get this move forward for the industry because we have the most complete platform, the most popular CPU ever invented. ARM devices are everywhere. It is incumbent upon ARM to do our part in making this happen. We are extremely committed, both in terms of what it does for the industry and what it does for the planet. So with fighting, we anticipate over 100 billion ARM devices ready for AI at the end of 2025. Just an incredible number. And then with this, not only will the industry be reshaped, but our planet will